All right, guys, so welcome back. Couple of things. So, first, I built a new rotor. Oops, gotta be careful because these magnets are powerful. I built a new rotor for my big Newman motor. It's kind of cool. And I'm going to try the new K Energy, or my new K Energy opto circuit. So I'm getting that guy set up. I'm also, so I was also going to, you guys saw my last video, or for those who saw my last video, it was a compilation video. And there was a lot of cool, projects that I did many years ago. And so one of the first ones I showed on there was a real basic one arm, basic YouTube pulse motor. And it was made out of crutches. It looks like this right here. All right, guys. Here's an old YouTube classic, except this one's made out of crutches. It was made out of crutches and, crutches like when you break a leg. I found a pair of old crutches inside this garage when we first moved in. I first started doing projects in here. So I built it out of that. I used those black ceramic, really weak magnets that you used to get from Radio Shack. I used that no circuit. It was just a straight mechanical circuit, or mechanical switch, if you will. And I was thinking I'd like to recreate that, but with modern materials, all 3D printed using neodymium magnets, bearings, and a real circuit. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to use this type of circuit right here. So when I first saw this guy, oops, sorry, it's a little foggy. When I first saw this guy online, I looked at it and I could only see it like this. And they showed a couple of angles and I thought, oh, it's running with a Hall sensor. And so the transistor must be underneath. And then when I got it, I turned it over and lo and behold, no transistor. There was just a power coupling. And when I looked closer, I realized that it's not a normal Hall sensor. It's one of those 4-prong ones. So it does it gets activated by the South Pole, but it also pulses the coil. So it's a transistor and a Hall sensor all in one. And I thought, that's really cool. The only downside is it's very low voltage. So anything between 5 and probably anything over 10 volts, and you're going to fry the Hall chip, which is why this guy runs on 5 volts. And I wanted to use this to power the new and improved basic pulse motor that I wanted to recreate. So I did recreate it, but it didn't work out too good. So I'm going to try a few other things. But yeah, stay tuned. All right, so this is the setup that I'm recreating from that original video that was in the compilation video. It was one of the very first pulse motors I ever made. So you can see I have, instead of a wooden base, I have an acrylic base. All the parts are 3D printed, neo magnets, nice shaft here. And I'm going to use, and I also made a quad one, if you will. I'm going to start with this guy, and then I'm going to move on this guy. I made the arms of this one a little bit shorter. I made these arms kind of long because that's how the original one was. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to mount this. I was thinking about putting some brackets on here like this so that I could slide this in and out. But I'm thinking, I should just drill it down in there. Anyway, stay tuned. You know, it's funny because I do stuff thinking that I'm going to improve the look, and then I end up messing up the functionality. So I did have a wooden base for this, but I thought, oh, well, I'm trying to make it completely modern, a complete 180 from the original one. And in fact, there's the wooden base down there. It was an old cutting board that my wife was throwing out. And with that, I could screw directly into the wooden base, and there'd be no, it screws in really easy. Well, with the acrylic, it doesn't. Anyway, so I make things harder on myself for the sake of it looking better. Anyway, stay tuned. All right, so that's what I'm going for. It's just like the other one, except for now it's all made with modern materials. I've got really good bearings in there. Got a stainless steel, 304 stainless steel shaft, 3D printed materials, acrylic base, and I'll get a circuit in there. I'm going to try a couple of different circuits, see how they go. Stay tuned. All right, so it's not winning any race competition, but it is going. I didn't think it was going to work very good with a Hall sensor with only 2 poles. But it is going, but I'm going to try different circuits. This is a circuit I got from Sky Collection. I just fixed the LCD screen. Slow and steady. The original one ran much faster because it was a mechanical switch. I think if I move the Hall sensor up a little further this way, it'll work better. But it is working. It's a miracle that it's working at all with just the 2 poles like this being so far apart and using a Hall sensor. And I have no load going off on this, so I got to be careful. I don't want to burn out because I just fixed this guy. Let me see if I can get it to go a little bit faster if I move the Hall circuit up. Stay tuned. Yeah, moving the Hall sensor up a little bit did it. That's about the speed of the original one. Excuse me. But I want to try several circuits on this. I even want to try the opto circuit on this. But I also want to try this 4-pole one. I think that'll work a lot better. But yeah, that is going really well now. Again, just a recreation of one of my original ones that I did about 15 years ago. And I called it the Basic Pulse Motor. Basic YouTube Pulse Motor. That's what I called it. I would be filming this on my new camera, but I went cheapo and had to send it back. It was a piece of junk. I got one of those cameras off of Amazon, supposed to be 4K. It was a name brand, but not a really good name brand. Oh man, was it terrible. Yeah, that's going good now. And if I turn on the load, it shows that it's putting out 8 volts. Make sure everything's still nice and cool. Yep, everything's cool. Of course, let me check this guy out. No, he's still nice and cool. Yeah, it's low voltage. I think if I move it up even further, it'll go even faster. I'm surprised it's even working this well now. All right, stay tuned. So this is one of my older JL94 circuits. You can see there's no load, but because it's such low voltage, I'm not at risk of hurting the circuit. But it's working. Yeah, this is one of Sky's coils too. So I'm using his circuit and his coil. I'm going to get one of K Energy's coils on here, or Redesign 3DP's. I'll try one of their coils on one of their circuits. It's chugging along. All right, stay tuned. All right, so this is K Energy circuit. It's not hooked up right. It's hooked up enough to get it going, but the apparatus is starting to have problems because I jerked on it, and I'm going to have to redo it. But it is going. And again, such low voltage, I'm not in jeopardy of hurting the circuit. Everything is still nice and cool. I don't have any output on it, but it is going. All right, I think it's time to switch it to the 4-prong one, or the 4-pole one, that guy right there. I think that'll be a little bit cooler. But I did want to recreate the original one, but using modern equipment, modern materials, bearings and neomagnets and good coils and good circuits. All right, stay tuned. All right, so I'll make the 4-prong on the next video because I want to put a longer shaft in here so that I can do an opto circuit. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching.